balancing act, and I think we're all pretty busy people, aren't we? And I just thought this is one of the things that is a big bugbear for me because I do too much. I try and shoehorn so much into my 24 hours, and I'm just trying to get the happy balance between the good stuff and the bad. I hardly take holidays, and I'm a single dad, so I take the kids away on holiday, but generally myself, I don't do a lot for myself. So this is talking about getting that balance a bit better, so juggling it all in our busy lives. So what is your everything? Now, on the left there is, if you can't see that, it's the scales, and it's got relaxation, health, hobbies, career, friends, family, spouse and partner. And on the right-hand side, I've got happiness and fulfillment. Now, obviously, if you've got a partner, that doesn't mean to say that it's balancing against happiness. It's kind of slightly skewed there, but, I'm trying to, it could be, depending on if you want to get out. So on one side, you've got all the things that make you happy and fulfilled, and on the other, it's all stuff that needs your time and input. So what I'm trying to say is that all of those things are a drain on your 24 hours each day. So how do you balance that up to get that happy and fulfilled life? And then on the right-hand side there, we've got all of those things taking up our time, but now we've got these things as well. Digital media, where you've got your phone. I've got a Garmin. Has anybody got a Fitbit? So I get up in the morning, and you know what I do? I connect it to my phone, sync it, to find out how well I've slept. So there's 5 or 10 minutes of my day gone because I've got this fixation, OCD fixation, on how well I've slept. Did I get up in the night for a pee? Oh, I went all the way through last night, so that's good. At my age, it's getting more difficult. So things like that take minutes off your day, and your laptop, your tablet, your television. I've got pretty much all of them here. I've got my phone there. This is my old phone that I'm using for recording. That's doing the video. I've got my laptop. I've got an iPad as well at home. So all of these things are taking up our time. So we've got text, we've got WhatsApp, we've got Facebook Messenger, social media. Are you a voyeur, or are you kind of a all-in, whole life poster? If any of you use Facebook, I don't know if people have just cut themselves off from it, but I tend to be a voyeur these days, where I'm just looking at people's lives and it's all rosy, everybody's happy, aren't they? And you're thinking, you liar. I know your wife. That's not what you say to me. So I look at a lot of people and what they do in their daytime lives, and it's all happy, isn't it? But it's basically I'm looking at Facebook thinking, get off, stop scrolling. Why are you looking at this crap? Whereas I've got friends that actually, literally, their plate of dinner, it's like, oh, look what I'm having tonight. I take a photo of it, it's like 21 likes, and oh, yeah, what's that? I'll get the recipe from you. So those kind of things. And then plus underneath, I'm sure there's stacks of stuff that I haven't actually captured. What is your everything? In your daily routine, what is taking up your time on a kind of minute-by-minute basis? Question there underneath. So this is me on a Wednesday night. I get my kids from school on a Wednesday night, and have you ever found yourself talking on the phone or trying to text? You're trying to watch something or listen to something on the radio, it's on the news or something like that. You're answering your kids, talking to your partner, making lunch, making dinner, the dogs are under your feet, the kids are yelling at each other, and all of that's going on while you're at your lowest blood sugar levels and trying to do all of this, going, oh my God, it gets really frustrating. So that is kind of my Wednesday evening in between maybe 4 and 6, and as soon as I've eaten, I'm like, damn tools, so I'm happy to leave the plates on the side, but that's kind of my everything on a Wednesday, and I do get downtime as well, but it's making the most of that downtime. So underneath, I've got the summary there, where I've got step 1, work out. So we're going to go through some steps to hopefully make your daytime more efficient, each 24-hour period more efficient. So step 1 is work out what your everyday productive and unproductive activities are, and then we can do something about it and where our time goes. And it is quite shocking when you start looking at it, really. But what's your main distraction? Have you all got iPhones, or have people got Androids? These are a few screenshots here from my iPhone, and it's this new, I don't know what the feature's called, but...
6.5 hours for me.
Is it really? So this was about 2 or 3 months ago, previous to Christmas. Now, since then, I use my phone a lot more for business and podcasts and YouTube videos, so it's probably gone up quite a bit. But on the left there, 55 pickups a day. It peaked over a weekend on a Friday. Now, that's a distraction, isn't it? From whatever you're doing, 55 times I'm picking my phone up for whatever reason. The next one is screen time today. So whatever day of the week this was, it was taken at 1 o'clock and I'd done 50 minutes. So productivity there, because those voice memos are things that I record. So
is that Tinder review?
Yeah. 4.5 hours. No, my girlfriend's not here tonight. She usually is, so thankfully she's not. So voice memos, settings. Why would I spend 5 minutes on settings? Probably to work out this. Facebook, obviously, WhatsApp and messages. So 50 minutes on average. The next one is the last 7 days where there are notifications, and it's 42 notifications on my phone per day. I would imagine it's a lot more than that. There's WhatsApp, there's Messenger, there's normal messages, there's Gmail, Messenger, Insta, YouTube and Strava there. Like I say, it's probably a lot more. Now, some of this is productive. That's the thing. You can't get away from the fact that you use your phone for productivity as well now, but a lot of it is faff. You know, I'm a group member of the PTA for the school. That is horrendous. 10:30, 11 at night, you know, some of the parents are like, oh my God, please. So I just have to turn it off. And also the track numpties. I do motorcycle racing, and we have a group chat there as well. So these kind of ping, ping, ping all the time. So some of it is productivity, others is really unproductive. But again, that's 42 notifications a day average in the last 7 days. And I averaged 1.5 hours, 1 hour 24 per day over a 7-day period. Messenger, messages was the top, WhatsApp, and then podcasts, actually, productivity. Here's a story of...
phone calls on there,
no, well, it's not showing phone calls, is it? So, friend of mine had a son who was 16 at the time, and for whatever reason, took the phone off him at 7 p.m. as a punishment and said, you'll get it back at 7 a.m. or whatever time you surface the next day. And given that he was in bed for however many hours of that 12-hour period, how many messages, WhatsApps, Facebooks, whatever, do you think there was in that 12-hour period?
Hundreds, probably, for a teenager.
200 for the teenager.
For the teenager. 600. And he was asleep for most of that. So next morning he's got his phone back and he's checking through all of that. How long is that going to take? So I've got 11 and 12-year-old kids, but you can't get away from it. You don't want to kind of keep them away from that too much. But on the other hand, you know, I'm trying to make sure my kids are outside all the time, either on a bike or something where they can't use their phone as much. But it's actually Marcus's son. So he's 19 now, is he?
He's 19 now.
Yeah, so he's probably on it the same amount of time.
Although, funnily enough, actually, so it's funny that because of this very problem that everybody's experiencing themselves and with their children particularly, if you're not experiencing it yourself, if you've got kids, you're probably going through something that looks 10 times as worse as that.
Yep.
When you said 42 notifications, I did kind of think, is that all?
Yep.
Because if I look at my daughter's, hers is like an old, I don't know, like a video printer. It's just
Yeah.
constant.
Churning, yeah.
And there's apps now where they've gamified not using your phone. And I use one, it's called Forest. And I got my son into it as well, because he's at uni now, and he was trying to study. And what you do is, when you, like, so for example, like you're sat here and nobody's really using their phone, so what you do is you'd switch on the Forest app, and you'd say, I'm not going to touch it, and you dial up however long, and it goes from 5 minutes to 2 hours. And what you do is you say you're going to do an hour, hit go, and then you just switch it off and put it away. What it does is it plants a digital tree. If you open your phone within the hour, you kill the tree. But the best bit is that you get points for every tree that you grow. And once you get 2,500 points, which takes quite a long time, they will plant a real tree
That's
somewhere in the
brilliant.
world for you.
That's
like
brilliant.
Yeah.
No, I started doing it for exactly this reason, was
Yeah.
I just found myself using it too much. It was actually my kids that turned me off using my phone too much. And Luca messaged me the other day and said he'd been studying and he'd nearly got himself to the point where he's got a real tree.
Wow.
So I thought, oh, okay, so it does go in.
Yeah,
So,
exactly,
there
yeah.
are-
Yeah.
So there are other apps as well, I believe, but this one's called Forest, and it's gamified the whole thing of not touching your phone.
That's hilarious. But like we say, I mean, it's not a beast, is it? Your phone is literally a supercomputer in your hands now, so it can be used for a lot of good. But like, you know, the podcast and the YouTube videos I look at are around business, so and learning as well, learning and development, motivational kind of stuff. So it's really useful stuff. But it's just understanding where it is. Is that your main distraction? Because for me, it probably is. I don't know what else really. Sport, as with you, probably. I love watching sport. I love taking part in sport. So that's a massive distraction. But the taking part is quite good because you're being energised and doing physical stuff. But the kind of watching, generally, I'm on my phone at the same time. So, you know, it's utilisation of your time. So your finite energy. So has anybody heard of the Buddhist monk, Dandapani? And I don't know if he's got a channel, but a lot of people use him. He's just a really modern monk that I think he runs a business as well, and he's monetizing it. So this short video I watched was really inspirational, actually. And he said, you know, in your 24 hours of each day, you've got a finite amount of energy. So think of it as a cup or a glass or something like that. And, you know, you'll sleep between 5 and 10 hours, okay? So knock that off. That's dead time. You'll work 5 hours if you work part-time, 10 hours if you've got your own business, generally more. So take that out. So, you know, generally, if you take that out, what are you left with to do from that first slide, all of that other stuff? How much time have you got left to do that quality stuff of relaxation, etc.? So I've got there that it leaves you in between 5 and 14. If you're a part-time worker and you work 5 hours a week, great. I mean, there's commute time as well. So it just depends how you use that commute time. If it's a half an hour commute and you listen to a productivity podcast or whatever, great. Then it's kind of good input. But generally, I would imagine that we don't have 5, 6, 7 hours of free time a day, do we? To do all of that relaxation, meditation, you know, and just chill out with quality time with your loved ones, etc. So in his video, he was saying that we're so good at getting distracted because we practice it so often. Back to the previous slide of all of the pickups and notifications on your phone, that's why we're so distracted all the time, because of this kind of stuff. It's like we practice it, so we're good at it. And this is a screenshot of that video, and in there he's talking to the presenter guy, and the words say, "I can't simplify," because someone said to him, you know, "Oh God, for your business, you need Snapchat," and he's like, "I don't need Snapchat. I don't have room in my vessel, in my glass, with my 24-hour period to add anything else in. There'll be a detriment to something else in my life, so I'm not willing to add it in there." So it's an amazing video, and the link's in there. I mean, I can send you this pack out. This is part of my online internet marketing business now that I'm creating content just to throw out there for people as freebies, but I like using it for presentations like this as well. So. And it's basically how is your energy levels from throughout the day as well with all of these distractions, and are you motivated, are you energized by the stuff that you are filling your day with or not? And what we should be doing is actually filling our day with the stuff that does motivate us. Unfortunately, most of us can't get away with not working or doing your passion for that 8-hour chunk. It's a third of your life, really, isn't it? When you look at it that way, it's at least 8 hours every day for most of your life. So that's a really, really crappy position to be in. That takes up the majority of your life. So it's working out where to focus your energy levels to get that happiness and fulfillment. What's the summary say?
To, sort of depression and anxiety, particularly in children, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Where they've got their phone, that fear of missing out.
Yeah.
That they don't want it.
Yeah.
They can't not have it.
Fumble.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
One of a couple of other strategies are things like switch off all the notifications, other than however you communicate with, if your kids are at school or your significant other, however you communicate with them, leave that on just so you don't miss something. But in terms of, do you really need to know if somebody on Facebook has posted a picture of a cat and all that sort of stuff? Switch all those off is one thing, and then the other thing is have a what do you call it?
Media block.
No, it's so like at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
say, actually,
yeah.
Right, I'm switching my phone off.
Curfew.
Now.
Yeah.
Curfew. That's the word
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking for.
yeah.
And I'm not switching it on until I need to see how well I slept.
Yeah.
The following day.
Yeah. 10 minutes over breakfast.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Switch it off for that whole period, and it takes. It's like going cold turkey a little.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There's those sorts of strategies as well.
But Lucas obviously going through that now because he knows that he's got to focus at uni. So
That's right,
yeah.
I put a timer on my broadband power adapter. So after a certain time, it's no one access the Wi-Fi.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
My daughter, 13 years old, have to hand in her phone to me every 6 p.m.
Yeah.
It takes discipline though, doesn't it?
Well,
Just
she absolutely hated it. She said, "No, mom, doing that to the kids." I said, "I am." I said, "But no, she's totally fine."
Yeah, they get used to it. Yeah, it's habit forming, isn't it?
It's just all about the setting. Yeah.
And there's a change in behavior as well. My son is 6.5,
Mm-hmm.
and he's with his iPad all the time playing games
Yeah,
and
yeah,
looking at
yeah.
videos.
Peppa Pig.
No, he's going past and going past the
Yeah.
Fireman Sam's. And
Yeah.
But now it's about drawing toys. This is one guy who's he's made his parents and himself has made like 20 million or something, just doing videos of all the toys.
Yeah.
And my son is completely focused on that, and he looks at that, and then he comes back and he's always asking me for toys. And then it's like, oh, if I do this, if I get my spellings right, I get this, right, Daddy? And and I've just stopped all access to his iPad now. He gets 20 minutes in the evening when he comes back from school, and that's it. And in the weekends he gets 40 minutes a day, and that's it.
No, it is. It's about managing all of that. It is. Yeah.
The thing is that they actually get addicted to such a very low quality content. That's what really bugs me. I've made my career on TV. I used to run TV channels and kids channels, and my daughter, they don't watch TV. I ran Nickelodeon. They don't know what Nickelodeon is.
Do you know what my two love? Grand Designs. I've really got them into that because of building projects, and they're really creative as well. And when they do the 3D imagery of the property, of how it's going to look, it's just spectacular. And then we love watching it to the end and seeing the transformation. And so, I try and get them onto that. Yeah.
Like, what the hell? You have Netflix, you have we have the smart TV, so we have you have the iPlayer, the 4. Just watch something that someone actually spent real money making it. It has a story, it has a beginning.
There's all the influences out there, and like a teenager, it's just.
I love stories. I can't stand stupid things.
I used to just watch sports. I used to learn. Just listening to a cricket commentary and watching a game, I used to learn so many things. It's just not interested in sitting down and actually learning some sport, just watching sport.
Yeah, it's true.
Attention span, isn't it? So my son, he said something like recently, he said, "Oh yeah, I don't really like going to the cinema." I said, "Oh, okay, that seems a strange thing to say." And I said, "Do you not like going to the cinema, or do you not like being able to play on your phone for 2 hours?" And he went, "Yeah, that's pretty much it." So he actually doesn't go to the cinema. He's turned off the cinema because he can't contemplate not playing with his phone.
Well, look at the Oscar nominations. The number one film this year is not. It's Roma. It's Netflix.
Yeah.
So Hollywood looks at it and is like, oh dear, we're going to have a lot of empty real estate very soon.
So the summary at the bottom there says, step 2, eliminate your biggest distraction. So whatever that be, okay, we can't eliminate our phone, but if notifications can be turned off for certain things that aren't business related, that is a good strategy to help you get distracted less, okay? And how many free hours do you think you have each day as well? Try and work that out with your finite energy so that you are expending the energy in the best places. Project managers in the room? Moscow. Okay, so I must. So looking at this, I've nicked this from Prince 2 and Project Land, and it's basically when you're developing a project, it's what you should have. You must have these products or these elements of that product. You must project. You should have these elements of it, and if you could have these and you've got the budget for it, throw those in, and actually you would have these if everything else lines up. So what I've done is nicked that and changed it into must do, should do, could do, and would do. So with your balancing act of your 24 hours, how can we spend the day? So must do, you must eat, you must sleep, you must work, yeah, and you must call the accountant. So if you haven't got to submit your tax return, I was 1 week from the deadline, but I literally filed it. It went from, I'd set myself a target of October last year to get it ready, as most people do, and then other stuff gets in the way. It just moved up the stack to a could do that this week. I should do that this weekend, actually. I've got a free day. To a should do. And then it was literally, right, I don't have the kids this weekend. It's a must do. So things like that. Put on makeup I've put as a should do. Now, I don't wear makeup. I don't know if any of the other blokes do in the room. But, you know, that may be a must do for some of you ladies. It might be a should do. If you've got time in the morning, you put your makeup on. It might be a must-do. I don't know. So things like that, okay? The could-dos, okay, if the weather's nice this weekend, I could actually cut the grass and empty the dishwasher, phone my sister if I have the time. And, yeah, would do if I had the time. I'll wash the car. I'll check Facebook, and I'll check Messenger, and I'll check all of those things. They should be bottom of the stack, okay? I must. So step 3 is focusing your efforts on the musts and the shoulds, and then that'll give us way more time to be efficient and minimize disruptions. Things like your phone out of sight. Everybody pretty much uses the phone as the alarm, don't they? That's the problem. So unless you turn it to airplane mode, you're still getting all of the messages and emails and all the rest of it. Mine's linked, unfortunately, to my Garmin. So unless I turn Bluetooth off, the phone's over there, so it's out of reach slightly, but unless I turn this off, it's like zzz, 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 and I'm dropping off, and it's just a major distraction. So I've started turning the Bluetooth off as well. So I've created this. This is my creation. I'm sure it's nothing new. I'm sure there's stacks of these out there on the internet. But the daily balance sheet, and I've printed a few off if you actually want a copy of it. And it basically, I've tabulated the musts, the shoulds, the coulds and the woulds. And it's listing it all out on a daily basis so that we know where we've got to focus our energy and putting an activity down, your top 5 activities, and then a comment by it, how much time is spent on that, or you think is needed, estimate how long you think you need for that, and work out how much free time. So the must do, okay, I've got to go to work today, 8 hours at work, and then an hour commute, 30 minutes each way. That's 9 hours of the day gone. I must sleep. My sleep's getting less, so I can get away with in between 6 and 7 hours. So I'll go worst case, 7 hours, okay? I must have 7 hours sleep. Eating will take me however long. So any other critical activities in the musts and the shoulds, and then you can work out of the remaining time where to spend the rest of your energy. If you want to go on Facebook for an hour a day, fine, as long as nothing else gives. Now, what you might find is if you are filling this in, you'll find that these become that, and then this goes from 5 activities to 15 activities. Then you've got a problem with how you're making your day efficient. So it's just moving things around so that you're creating a new habit over a period of time and reducing all of that unproductive stuff so that you can become more efficient. And that daily balance then, so you'll have more time for your loved ones and your friends and your family and doing the nicer things that kind of make you feel better. And I'd love to start. Are you still doing yoga, by the way? I'd love to start yoga. I went 2 weeks ago with my girlfriend, and I came out. I was like, whoa, I feel totally relaxed. Yeah. But then you go, right, phone, and you're back into it. So it goes away really quickly because you focus back on the things that need doing rather than just enjoying the moment and taking a breather and thinking, yeah, I should make more time for this. So I've got to go through this. I'm my own worst enemy with this kind of stuff. I've got to go through this myself. And just over the next month or so, just go through this exercise of working out where all the time goes, getting rid of. I go on Facebook a lot less than I used to, I have to say. Try and stay away from WhatsApp unless it's critical stuff. But yeah, I think that is all of it. It is. So hopefully that's just some food for thought in our daily lives to balance things up and make sure that you're spending time on the nicer things. So hopefully you got something good from that.
Yep.
Thank you.